Hey everyone, it's Apache here and welcome back to another episode of Fear the Night 2 here on the Aura Fury server. Thank you very much for joining me today and continuing to show your support for the series. If you do enjoy this episode, please leave a like and a comment, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. So we're going to be getting into Astral Sorcery quite a lot today. And the first thing I want to show you, I had to wait till dark, or at least getting down to sunset, because we're going to go hunting for rock crystals. I did promise you a tutorial on the best way of getting rock crystals, and the best way is, first of all, wait for it to go dark. And then you need to hold a resonating wand in your hand, so you need one of these resonating wands. And whilst we're waiting for it to dip down into sunset, I will show you the recipe for that. This is 2 marble, 2 aquamarine and an ender pearl in a crafting table, and it has to be outside at night so that you get the starlight. The best way to do this, however, is to go to one of those big temples we were at a couple of episodes ago and stick the crafting table inside there next to the floating crystal, and you will get plenty of starlight even during the daytime hours. So now during as it's getting dark, we may be able to see a change in the landscape. I believe it's over here. Down closer to the front. I can't remember if it's over there or over here, but we shall soon see. Here we go. And we can see here we have these faint white lines coming out of the surface. And so this is telling us that there are some rock crystals down below. And so if we just light up this area a little bit more, just to give us the clearance we need. There we go. Okay. A little bit more over here, just because that's going to be a bit close for when we come back up. Okay, so we know roughly where they are. And so the thing that I usually do now is I get in close to where they are. I press F3 and G to bring up the border, and we can see this is pretty much directly on a chunk border. There are some on this side, but yeah, it's mainly on this side and a couple on this side. So what I want to do is I want to go to the very corner of this chunk, which is just here, and we want to start digging down. So dig down the first 3. You want a torch in your offhand, especially if you're using Optifine, because that'll give us the dynamic lighting. And now if you keep the chunk borders on, you'll be able to see, a bit Z-fighty, but we've got this blue line there, and that is the very corner of the chunk. So we know which chunk we need to be in. And so now we just stand in the middle of these 2 blocks and we just dig downwards. Now, you will encounter ores on the way past, like these galena ore. I'm not too worried about those, but what you need to do is really keep an ear out for what is going on around you. It's not too bad while we're up at the top here, but as soon as we get down below into the lava range, you want to be careful that you're not diving down on top of a lava lake or down into a cave. Don't really want to be going down into a cave. I find that on the chunk borders like this, it's usually best because of the way the world generates. It generates chunk by chunk by chunk, and so there's less likelihood of you jumping down into a cave if you go down at the corner of a chunk than if you're in the center. I think anyway. It tends to be like that. From what I've done this, I think this is my 4th time going down for the rock crystals now, and I haven't once actually gone into a cave. I've nearly gone on top of lava, and I've had this washed out by water before, but we haven't actually got any had any problems with caves or with lava. So I'm going to clear out my inventory just a little bit here because I want to grab this iron on the way past, just while we've got easy access to it. So we'll dig this out. I don't really need redstone too much, but I'll grab that as well. I might as well. So we'll come down, and usually, just to make it easiest on myself when I'm coming back up, because I don't really take many torches down with me at all, I will actually fill in these bits with cobblestone, just so that everything is clear and we know exactly where we're supposed to be digging up and down, and it makes it nice and clear for when we're coming back up. There we go. Okay, so we'll keep going down. Right, actually at Y level 6 here, so we're very, very, very close. We have a flat bedrock at level 2. And now we just want to keep going in this direction. And we want to mark out the edge of this, this chunk. And here we can see the rock crystals just here, pretty much exactly where it said it would be. And so we'll grab these. And that's pretty much all you need to do. You can actually head back up now if you want. I usually take this opportunity though, because we're usually underneath all the lava lakes here. We're underneath all the caves. I will head over to this side of the chunk. I will head back towards this way. You can see we've got some uranium, we've got some nickel. The nickel will be very good actually. Above that we've got some amethyst. I will grab the nickel. There's another bit just there. What's above? Tin, we've got plenty of tin. I will grab this uranium because we don't actually have any of that. Okay, this Paxel doesn't actually pick up uranium. That's something to be aware of. Yeah, we'll just do a little bit more just to mark out the edge of this, just so you can see what we're doing. You can see basically just how long it takes. And oh, okay. This is actually one that I've done before, you can see. I actually cleared this chunk out completely, apart from this bit of lava here. So yeah, this is actually right next to where I've actually dug out before. That's really cool. Didn't actually know that. So one of the best things about doing it this way is that nothing can spawn on bedrock. So you don't actually need to light up behind you at all. I'm not going to do too much more. I just want to dig out a little bit. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm glad I did. There is some more diamonds. So let's just dig around these just a little bit. Just to make sure that we're going to be safe. Some redstone there as well. I don't really want a geonac falling down on my head. But we can afford to get these diamonds. And maybe a little bit of coal while we're here as well. Yeah, I'm hopefully going to get a fair few diamonds from this because we do need them. There we go. How many did we get? We got 4. Not great, but it's better than none, definitely. I'll grab this little bit of redstone as well. But I think that's all I really want to do. That's all I want to get while I'm down here. So while the next thing we need to do is I usually come the one away from the wall here. And this is where you don't want torches in your offhand. This is going to be very dark for you guys. So I will say goodbye for now, and I will see you back up at the surface, because all you need to do now is pillar back up. And now we're back at the surface. It is actually sunrise. So we'll head back up, press F3 and G to get rid of the chunk borders. And there we go. And we're just left with a cobblestone in the ground there, just to mark where we were. And we can head back over and have a look at what we got. So just from that very small bit of mining there, we got a few iron ore, some tin, some nickel, a little bit of uranium, a few coal, ruby, a few diamonds, and a stack, and a little bit of redstone as well. So that is really cool. Now if you keep doing that just every so often, every few in-game nights or so, you'll actually start coming up with a decent stockpile of various different materials. So the next thing we want to do is we want to work with this iron ore. Well, actually no, first of all, let's just have a look at what rock crystals we got were, just in case there's any really good ones. Not too good, especially considering I am now up to 100% purity on these. So I have the top row here, which is my crafting crystals. These are the ones you use in just the regular recipes. These are basically the throwaway ones. And then these ones down the bottom here, these are all cutting 100 and purity 100 here. Various different sizes. This one's the lowest, got it down to size 8 whilst cutting it. I think if I put it once more through the grindstone, it would break. So I'm glad I stopped when I did with that one. So these are the starters that I've got. So every time I need to actually craft something, where the size, the purity of the cutting actually matters, then I will use these ones. But otherwise, just for the regular recipes and for feeding into this light well here, then I'll just use these top ones. Also with this, I've managed to actually get it exporting out with one of these wooden fluid pipes. It took me a while to understand how these work, and somebody on Discord actually let me know that you need a redstone engine attached to this with a lever on the back of that to actually get this wooden fluid pipe to work. And that's just going down into the regular BC tanks here, and we're steadily filling this back up again. We are actually going to need, however, a bucket of this. We're going to need to place that into the ground here, just in a 1x1 hole, because we're going to be using that for the next recipe that we'll be looking at. And that recipe is going to be, well, let's see where it is, the lens here. We need to start transmuting materials into different things, and so we're going to need to make this recipe here. Now there's a few different steps involved in this. A couple of them are fairly easy, a couple of them are a little bit more complicated. So I think the first things we want to have a look at are these engraved infused woods. So if we have a look at this engraved infused wood, we can see that we need 4 pieces of infused wood planks, and this is just infused wood. But there's no actual crafting recipe for this infused wood at all. So how do you make it? It's actually much easier than you think once you've actually read the wiki on Astral Sorcery and you know what you're doing with this. It's as simple as you would think, to be honest. Now, I've done this with 1 log in the past. I've never actually tried it with a whole stack. I don't know if this is going to work, so we'll see together, and then if it doesn't work, I'll just do them 1 by 1. However, you just chuck some wood logs into the pool, just a 1 by 1 pool. In fact, I will grab another one of these out just in case that doesn't do anything, and I'll just grab a single log just like that, and we'll place this into here. I'm not expecting that to actually work or do anything, but because as you can see, oh no, oh wow, okay, yes it does, and it doesn't actually suck it up, it doesn't do anything with it. That's really cool. Okay, yeah, so we've got a stack of infused wood now. We can actually use that for building. I've learned something, and hopefully so have you. That's brilliant. So we need to take this infused wood down into infused planks, and then we need to place this like this, and that will give us the engraved infused wood, which is what we need for that. The next is the lenses. Now I've got some glass panes here. Do we have enough? No, we don't. Okay. And we do actually have some glass in here as well. That's good. So we need some more glass panes. Place that back in there. And we're going to need some aquamarines. And can you do this in just a regular crafting table? No, it has to be in the luminous crafting table. So, okay. We're going to have to head up to the top here and use the crafting table just at the top of this ladder. So we're now at the top, and we have a Starlight crafting altar up here, I placed this up here because it gives you all the starlight that you need if you're right up close to the top of the world here. So if we come into here, we actually have an empty bucket in there. That's brilliant. I didn't know I got that back from the last recipe that I did in here. So if we place, I think we need 3 of these, and we go 1, 2, and 3. You can see we get the image of it on here to tell us what we're making, and then we right click on here, and even at midday we can actually use the Starlight crafting altar, which is brilliant. So now we have the glass lenses. What else do we need for this recipe? Oh, does that mean this actually keeps stuff in here? So if we place that, and that in there, they're no longer in here? Oh, wonderful. Okay. So we can go like that and that, because these are needed. So let's see what else is needed. We're going to need 2 runed marble, a gold ingot, and a rock crystal. And while I remember, we've actually got to set up the base for this crafting altar before we can use it properly. At the moment this bar is red because it's not set up properly. If we have a look in the astral tome here, it actually gives us a list of everything we need. So this is the structure that we need to build, and you can actually see it layer by layer by layer. So there is the first layer, second, the third, and the fourth. And then you can have it as a 3D view as well. And this is, that's 7. Well, it's actually 9 by 9, but the actual center bit is 7. So we can actually set this up here. So if we take these bits off there, and then we can do the dangerous bit and come along. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's the first side of it there. And then in this bit we want 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we want, I'll get all of this stuff on the bar ready. So we've got the chiseled marble just there. And then we're going along 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Put touchdown. I've got to keep an eye out as well because there are actually flying creatures around here. I'm actually going to have to change some of my base design as well as we're moving forwards, because one of my main things was going to be to try and have some real open spaces, wide open spaces within my base. And because of the way the mobs spawn in this pack, I'm not going to be able to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 more, 6 and 7, there we go. So yeah, I'm having to change around a lot of my plans because I didn't realise just how intrusive, I suppose, the Lycanites mobs mod actually is. So we can place that on there. We're going to do the lighting properly as well later on. So next we want these bits in just here. Keeping my finger very, very firmly pressed down on shift. There we go with that. Then we want 1 in the center, 1 in the center over there, 1 in the center here, and 1 just there. And then the center of this just gets filled in with sooty marble, which is just 1 piece of coal in the center of 8 of these, or any of these different types of marble blocks. Will give you 8 sooty marble. So that's the most difficult bit done. Now we just need the pillars. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And it must be, let's just have a look at the thing again, just so we can see. It is actually just 2. If we have a look at this, it is just 8 marble pillars. So that's 2 on either side. And then 1 more of these up on the top like that, and the last one just there. And so now if we move this into position in the very center of this, we can now see that this is now properly full. And during the night we're getting almost up to the top here, so that's good. So now we can go for the lens, we can go for here, everything is in place and it is showing that it's correct. So now we can click on it with the resonating wand, and after a while, we're not to sunrise now. Hopefully we'll have enough time for this to actually go. Yes, excellent. Oh, we got 5 of them. Excellent. This recipe also does matter what type of rock crystal you use. So I made sure that the one that I picked up was 400, 100, 100. And that's actually given us 5 perfect lenses. You can see here, size 400, purity 100, cutting 100. And so what we're going to do with these, we're going to place these around, like one on the back there. I'm going to want the center of it just here, so we'll go with one there. We'll go with one just here. Got 2 more, so we'll place one there and one there. At the moment, they're all facing in kind of one way. We're going to place a pillar down on the ground there, and then whatever we want to focus on will be placed on here. So now we actually need to get one of these linking wands, a linking tool. So we'll have a look what this is. This is 2 pieces or 2 logs, 4 sticks, any rock crystal, and I believe this doesn't matter what it is, and 2 aquamarines. So let me just gather that up and we'll get that sorted. So we now have everything we need for this linking rod. We're going to need to just wait for it to go slightly dark before we can actually get to the top of this bar though. And you can see where it needs to be, just about halfway. But as it draws into dark, we will be able to do that. However, I've just remembered something reading through this. The ion transmutation, this is what I'm trying to do. And we're actually going to need to take all of these down, because I've got ahead of myself here. I'm used to being quite further along with astral sorcery, and we need to take these to one of those big temples, like, where is the other one? There, one of those large astral sorcery temples that we've seen before. There is actually one fairly close by, off in that direction there, roughly, but actually very, very close by to where we are. So I'm going to take these down once we've got this linking rod. So we'll get that now, whilst that's cooking. So I want to take that down. I want to take this. Well, luckily these don't break and we can pick them up. I've got to be careful about these ones, make sure that I actually get them. There we go, and one more. Oh, that one fell down. Okay, we'll pick that one up at the bottom. And there is the linking tool, which we're going to need as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to head off and secure an area over there with the large temple. Get the top stripped off it, because in this book it says that you need, here we go, clearing a path to the sky for one of the collector crystals the ancients left in storage at a shrine should provide that source. So before we actually get our own collector crystals, we need to use the ones that are left around the world, and that's the little bit that I forgot about. So we're going to head back down, and yes, I have already died doing this bit once, only once though. And there is our lens. Wonderful. Right, let me head over there, get everything set up, and you can join me back in a minute. So we have one of these large temples here, which has now been fully uncovered at the top. We can see the crystal floating below here. Just to show you where we are, down here. We are just here and the base is just here, so it's very, very, very close to us. There is also actually another one of these. There's one just here, which I believe is a smaller type one. But there is another one just here as well. So there's a couple of these dotted around the map here, and you can see there's another one just there as well. So these are all over the place, to be honest with you. I've also added in a load of this, the liquid starlight on the ground here. This actually gives light to the area, and it stops mobs from being easily able to cross it. I've lit up the surrounding area, as you can see, quite far, and this is actually safe to work with, and if you go into it, it gives you night vision. You can see we've got night vision for 15 seconds here. So it's actually some quite nice stuff to keep around. But as it is coming up to dark now, we will need to get ready in here. So I'm actually, just to make it a bit easier for myself, I'm going to take these bits of water out. And I suppose they can just go down there for now. And there we go. There is all of those gone. We need to place down our lenses. So these aren't going to be as neat as we had them before, but there we go. And the last one can go, I suppose it doesn't really matter, it can go just there. In the centre of this, let's see, we want to take that away so all the water drains away. I want to have one of these marble pillars just in the centre, just so that we can have something to place these iron ore on. I'm going to place one down just there, and then we're going to use the linking tool as it's getting dark to link from that one to here, and from that one to there, from that one to there, that one to there. Oh, hang on, it's just doing the same one. So this one. Okay. Right, okay, you need to come off the linking lens each time. That's okay. From there to there. And from there, nope, from there to there, okay. From here to here. You can see it's starting to work now. From there to here, from here to here, and you can see it has actually turned it already. But we'll finish getting these set up. It is now all ready, all working. There is our very first piece of star metal ore. We're actually going to get 7 more pieces of it, and this is going to go nice and quickly now, because we got such good quality of the lenses. That's why it's working so quickly. I'm also going to put these around just to make it a bit easier to walk in here. There we go. I'll take this one away. And this is in the center, just telling you where to put stuff. And so now whenever we need to get any star metal, we can come here, and as you can see, it's really nice and easy to get this stuff transferred over. So now that we have the star metal ore, we can actually turn it into this stardust here. And with this stardust, we can now create these celestial crystal clusters. So if we come out over to here, we can grab some of this star metal or starlight, place it into the ground here, just in a 1x1 hole, just as you would normally. We're going to grab one of these decent size ones here. Actually, no, I don't think it really matters for this. So we're going to grab just any old one. We chuck into this little puddle here, we chuck in a single rock crystal into there and a star dust. And after a little while, this will change into one of these, which is a celestial crystal cluster. These will grow up over time. They do take quite a while to actually grow up. You don't really need to do anything with them though. and they will just slowly grow, and eventually you'll be able to dig them up with a pickaxe, and then you will end up having a celestial crystal here of a random cutting, purity and size, and then these grow just as you would normally with these rock crystals. You do it again with the celestial crystals, and once they get up to full size, then you can start making the crystal pickaxe, the crystal shovel, the crystal axe, and my favourite, the crystal sword. It's my favourite because it does 14 damage. That's seven entire hearts of damage. So it's a very, very good weapon to have. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this, but also the celestial crystals are brilliant for collecting the stardust here. We have a liquid starlight. But yeah, this is going to take a long time for these to grow up. And so I think this is something I'm going to be doing between episodes, just getting a really steady supply of these crystals growing up. So these things do take quite a while to actually grow up, but this one was made with a 100 purity rock crystal, and this one was made with, I think it was about a 72%. And this one was made about 5 minutes before this one was. Well, no, probably about 2 minutes before, actually, to be honest with you. But if we press F3 here, we can see that this one is at stage 2, and then this one is at stage 0. So even after about half an hour of waiting, this one hasn't grown at all yet, whereas this one has grown through 2 different stages. So yeah, we're going to take a while. So I think that is where we're going to leave things for today. We've done quite a lot today. We've done a lot of astral sorcery stuff, and if you haven't tried this mod yet, make sure you do, because it is such a good mod. I love this mod. And we haven't even got into the really, really interesting stuff yet. The Mantle of Stars, the Impulsion Rod, which is around somewhere. Yeah, the Impulsion Wand, which is essentially an everlasting Ender Pearl. So you can just Ender Pearl around everywhere. But it doesn't give you full damage reduction, so be careful with that. We haven't got into the cave illuminators, which I want to get about a stack of and just dump them around everywhere. And these are going to be vital for when we go to the Twilight Forest. They're going to be so good for that. We also haven't even got to the attunement yet. We have the Visio constellation paper, but we haven't attuned ourselves to Visio, and we haven't attuned our Mantle of the Stars to Visio. And as soon as we do that, then we can start flying. This Mantle of Stars suddenly turns into an elytra, and we can jump up into the air with the Impulsion Wand. And then when we actually attune our Resonating Wand to Visio, then we'll be able to take off with that as well. And so we'll actually be able to get some form of flight here. So yeah, it's going to be vitally important for these to grow up so that we can actually get on with some of the rest of the mod. So that's it for today. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you did enjoy this episode, please leave a like, comment and subscribe on the video and to the channel, and I will see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me by subscribing to the channel and liking and commenting on the videos. Thanks. See you next time.